The lads that don't worry about, you know, feeling like they're going to get a bite every single chuck, come the end of the 5 hours, they get their window where they catch 2 in 2 chucks, and then they might go, you know, an hour and a half without a bite. And then all of a sudden, they catch another 2 in 2 chucks, and they've got 4 fish, and the fish in this lake go up, they're massive. I'd say on average they're probably 10 pound, if you averaged them out. Maybe 8 pound. But then, you know, the rod can go round and it can be 20 pound. They're massive in here. So you're not fishing for loads and loads of bites. So, sort of nearly 7 minutes into the cast, and the reality is I feel like I've been sat here for a lifetime, but we're still a minute short of what I would say the average sort of early bite time would be. It's normally 8 to 12 minutes. And there's one, just another one topped. And again, quickly talking about that, with the fish topping, I'm a nightmare when I see them of, right, I want to try and catch them on that waggler. And again, that's another thing that you can do where sometimes you can make it worse, because you start crashing a float in and all of a sudden there's too much noise in one area, keep chucking your waggler. If you don't get a bite on it, what can happen is you push the fish out of the peg. So you see there, I've seen 2 or 3 top, and it's sort of 7 minutes and about 45 seconds, whereas the way I've been feeling at the moment is I'm looking at my rod thinking I ain't going to get a bite. So what happens is I'm the first person to pick a waggler up, and if I haven't had a bite within, say... Hi everyone, this clip was taken from our Match Focus website. I'm going to be adding a lot more content to our Match Focus YouTube channel, but if you'd like to watch the video in full, a more in-depth look at the rigs, the feeding, bait and decision making, then just head over to the website at matchfocus.co.uk. I'd really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe to our Match Focus YouTube channel, as it really does help us grow. I hope you enjoy watching the video. Well, to be honest, I've had 1 bite on a big float. Whereas, again, talking about the lads that have been on them in the past 2 or 3 matches, where I feel like I've been slightly off them, I'm chucking my waggler out there, and if anything, I'm pushing them further and further out of my peg because I haven't had a bite on it. Whereas the boys that have been on them have just sat tight on their method, and they've had bites and they've been catching. So I'm sure we definitely had a bite first chuck. I'm sure it was rattling. It could have been a liner, but if anything, I would have said it was probably a skimmer. And then this has been out there, you know, just under 8 minutes, and it's been dragged in. So straight away, this is more carp than I've caught in probably the last 25 hours fishing a method, you know, on this lake. And sometimes, you know, I don't change often. I'm not a big changer. But once you've had a few matches and you've not caught, this is just going to do me the absolute world of good. It's a lovely fish, that is. Second chuck, I haven't started. It's got to be 10 pound. Just tuck him round. He's absolutely freezing. Hooked, smacking the, you know, the bottom. And I think maybe that's the other thing about my length of hook length. You know, my hook length's too short maybe. But that's a nice fish. And you think, so we had a misbite after, I'll just hook that up a second. We had a misbite after 4 minutes, and then we caught one within, say, 8 minutes. So the reality is we'd be 15 minutes into the match, and we've already caught one 10 pound. Now, I might go an hour now without a bite, but I've still got one 10 pound in my net. and then an hour and 10, hour and 20 minutes in, it goes round, catch one, goes round again, catch another one. Now I've got 3, and you're only an hour and a half into the match. Remember what I was saying, like 10 carp at the moment is massive. I can't tell you how cold I am on this side. Over there is literally like, well, like Barbados, but trust me, this feels like Iceland, and that feels like Barbados over there. But straight away, I feel like immediately now, I'm so much happier. I'm not a lover, or I wasn't a lover of these. So now, again, quickly touching on my next chuck, I'm going to take that pink one off because I've caught one on a yellow one. And I know that Tommy on 38, which is opposite where we are today, he caught everything on a yellow one. Mark Eves, who was opposite me, caught a couple on a yellow one and then caught on a pink one. So with Tom, when I was asking him, speaking to him, he's like, Paul, to be honest, I only take yellow ones now because I don't want to have too many options. I want to chuck out with what I've caught, which is what I'm confident in. So I'm going to change that to a yellow one now. Winding. I'll smack it back out for us. But now I think I'm just going to carry on plodding along. I'll see, if we can catch a couple more on it. But I think what I'll do is I'll stop us, because I might, what we're saying now, is I might have a few chucks, and not get a bite. Obviously, I know winter time, different in the summertime when you're going to be getting bites dead quick. Just make sure my loop's nicely. But I can't tell you, literally just that one fish, how much better I feel about these. So, wind up, smack him back out again, rod up, so I can hit the clip, feel it down, and that way now I can just sink that line nicely. Get my rod on my rod rest, so I make sure I can slacken off from that tip. Stop my stopwatch, and we're good to go again. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on, have a few more chucks, see if we can get a few more bites on it, and then we just have sort of like a little conclusion, and hopefully I might be able to time it right where I can start the camera. What I'll probably do, I'll run the camera, and then we start from when the actual rod goes round, because let's face it, that's the bit that we all want to see, and the rod getting folded in. So I'll carry on plodding along. I'll have another go with a yellow one, I'll have a go with a pink one, but the fact that it's gone round on that yellow one now, and the fact that I know that Tommy caught on yellow ones, and I know that William's been catching on like a yellow one as well, it's just, that's what this bit's all about today. It's just installing that bit of confidence for me. So if I don't draw as well the weekend, I'm going to be chucking it out feeling like if there's one there, I've got every chance of getting a bite. And for me, it's not just about the hook bait, it's about the length of the hook length. I've always shied away from a 4-inch hook length because the way that I like fishing with maggots, I've had it too many times where the rod's gone and I picked up and there's nothing there, and I feel like I've given too much rope to hang themselves with, if that makes sense. So carry on plodding along, fingers crossed, get to see that rod get dragged in a few more times. Well, that's not been out there very long at all, 1 minute and 30 seconds. But it was weird, obviously when we started, you can see how cold I am, I've got my hood up. Obviously missed that bite, and then caught one for you, which was just under 8 minutes. And then I chucked out again thinking, well, it'd be interesting to see if we get another bite. Literally 5 minutes and the rod's gone round. And then I've had probably 4 chucks, but a cormorant come through my peg. To be honest, they're a bit of a nightmare here. There's not a lot you can do about it because they've obviously got the canal footpath behind me where I'm sat here. And it just literally went dead for a bit. And I'd see the fish topping the other side, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to get another bite now. And then this literally been in there 1.5 minutes, and it's gone round. Now, I know this is no miracle bait as such, but today is all about confidence. Be it when you're sat on the fish, are you making the most of it? And the one thing that I feel like I'm happy that I've come is, one, it's given me confidence in the bait. I've still not chucked out with a pink one, because if I'm getting bites on this yellow one, there's no point in changing. But if anything, the biggest thing it's given me confidence in, or maybe the reason why, or part of the reason why I wasn't catching as many as maybe I should have been catching, is I was using a 3-inch hook length. Now the 2 fish that I've caught have both been hooked literally right here. So it's not like I'm hooking them dead deep. If I was, hooking them dead deep, then I'd be thinking, my 3-inch hook length could be quite good still. But maybe that's the other thing. That's a big F1. Maybe that's why, again, I haven't been catching. But the fact that I've caught on these now, I'm not going to be changing. But it's just nice to be confident. I'm sure. No, that's a carp. I thought it was an F1. But again, it's hooked. I'm going to really struggle to show you, but it's hooked right in the corner here of the mouth. So all of me normal fishing and to be fair, normally when I fish a method feeder, it's more fishing to islands into shallow water. I thought it was an F1, but it's not, it's a carp. And I think it's different when they're eating in shallow water. I think they creep in your peg a lot more, and they eat, I bet, a lot slower over the feeder because they haven't got that much water. So if they move in a bit slower and eating closer to the feeder and slower, maybe that's why that little hook length is better. But the one thing that I'm happy with today is